Hey everybody, I wanted to go over modules 2 and 3 for you. And this is the only module. Hang on one second. Let me get into student view really quickly. All right. This is the only one of this is the last time you'll be doing 2 modules in 1 week. The remainder of the semester, it'll be 1 module per week. So I'm going to click on modules in your navigation homepage. And then let's just kind of scroll down and take a look at these. Module 2 coincides with Chapter 2. It's on business ethics and social responsibility. Then Module 3 is on economic challenges facing contemporary business. So essentially pretty different things, topics, and concepts here. So let's go ahead and look at the learning objectives. In this module, we look at, we explain like ethical and societal issues. How can organizations shape ethical conduct, and how businesses can behave and act responsibly? And we looked at ethical responsibilities of investors and the financial community. So this is important because nowadays companies are really put under the microscope by not only the profits that they're making, but for example, how they treat their employees. Do they give back to the community? Do they have philanthropic endeavors and support nonprofit organizations? Do they have like green initiatives or recycling programs? And so these are just some examples of a company that has a concern for ethical and societal issues. So let's look here. As with every module, you're going to have the learning objectives, the presentations, required readings, which will always be the chapter that coincides with this module. So it'll be chapter 2, and then supplemental resources that I find for you. And it could be web pages, videos, just additional blogs, PDFs. So you do have several presentations here. You have an audio presentation. You have the PowerPoint presentation that comes with the resources, the publisher resources. You can print them off and take them to go with you, a PDF version. You can also print off PowerPoint slides too. It just might be easier to print off the PDF. And then you have a Chapter 2 Prezi presentation that I use in my face-to-face class. And oftentimes these will have additional real-world examples as well embedded into that Prezi presentation. So be sure and change it up, pick your favorite presentation mode, look at all of them, or change it up. 1 week look at the Prezi, 1 week look at the audio presentation, ever how you want to do that. The supplemental resources are here. They go with and these are just web links this week, but they do go with, here's a Harvard Business Review article. And so yeah, I mean, you just click on, you want to click on anything that has an actual title to it. So these are just some examples of ethical dilemmas. Obviously, accounting would be one, computer time, that type of thing. A lot of companies now are saying, hey, no getting on social media at work. They consider that unethical, wasting your time, as an employee when you could be doing other things, right? So take a little bit of time to look at those, and remember that these all go along with the learning objectives. So they all are very much aligned with what you need to be learning for this module. So let's look at what the activities are. For both Module 2 and 3, you're going to have discussion forums and your chapter quizzes. So personal code of ethics, you're going to, and again, I try to lay it out either by numbers or alpha of everything that you need to be writing and working on. And this is maybe a little bit similar to the academic integrity and honesty personal statement that you all worked on, but this is wanting you to look at your standards that you have created for yourself for your behavior at A, school, and B, your professional career life, C, your personal relationships, and then assess how well you are meeting your own standards currently, and then E, reply to at least one classmate's post. Keep in mind that this is just here to show you how this activity, the value of it, and how it aligns with Some or all of your learning objectives, so you don't have to answer that objective. Keep in mind you need to be looking at the grading rubric before you get started on any activity, and let this be your guide to how you develop your analysis, your reflection, and your answers. So you definitely want to be replying, writing clearly and concisely, answering all the questions, and then be sure you're citing any of your sources that you use, whether it's a textbook or a website or an article. Sure you're citing that briefly with the author's last name, copyright year, for example, or the web address itself in parentheses. And so you have your quiz. Okay, so now let's look into the learning objectives for the Module 3. We're going to look at, this is really the only chapter where we focus on economics. So we're going to be looking at what microeconomics is, supply and demand, macroeconomics, how do we evaluate an economy's performance, and then some global economic challenges of the 21st century manager. So keep in mind there's many different levels of management. You could be everything from like a team leader to a key holder to an assistant manager to a general manager or store manager, district manager. There's many different levels, and you will find yourself in one of these type of roles surely within your career if you haven't been there already. So it's a very important chapter, and again, it's the only chapter that we focus on economics. So in this intro to business class, we look at all different areas of business or discipline, from human resources to accounting, finance, marketing, management, leadership, information technology, and economics. So you have your presentations, you have your required reading, chapter 3, and your supplemental resources that go with it. Again, just some additional web links to help you here to supplement and enrich your learning process that directly align with the learning objectives. So let's look at the discussion forum for Module 3. So we're going to look at it. See, I have it labeled here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 different parts. Explain which economic system you prefer after you review all of the resources for this module: presentations, chapter readings, supplemental resources. Explain which type of unemployment you have experienced and what are some strategies that you have in place to ensure your continued employment within an organization. So 2 has 2 parts. So think about, unemployment is inevitable. It happens to everybody at some point. You could be fired from a job, you could have a company downsize, you could have company layoffs, you can decide to leave a company on your own accord. There are many different things that can kind of happen. But, I want you to really think about ways that you can prevent this, because it's never good to be without a job, because then your job skills kind of go flat. You always, my position is it's always better to be working, even if it's part-time, but I know sometimes it's hard to do that if you're going to school full-time, but it's always good to keep your skills sharp, and make money and, have some extra money or make money, or definitely, I know some of you are in full careers, and so that's good too. But so how do you prevent, unemployment from happening? Because it can be very disruptive in your finances, in your career, in your self-esteem. It can affect all in your your relationships. It can affect all things in your life. So, and then number 3, give an example of a country that is facing a global economic challenge. And so, and then here is the learning outcome associated with this discussion forum. And again, be sure and look at your grading rubric. So I look forward to these forums. I like to get in discussion with you. And I will, if you have any questions, be sure and don't forget to look at the due dates. But modules 2 and 3 are going to be due. You can clearly find the due dates here. And it's always at 11:59 p.m. and on a Sunday. But you definitely want to, confirm that. So September 10th, Sunday by 11:59 p.m. It gives you all week to work on them. So yeah, just reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great holiday break as well. All right, bye.